Say, what's up, brother? Sorry, I just
Yo, what's good?
snuck up on you.
Yeah, you did. I was like, I'm gonna just get in here early, and then I ain't even gonna problem looking at my portfolio like. So I was like, oh, what's
Right.
good, bro? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right, man. Is this is the blue light glasses okay, or should I take
Yeah.
them?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
John's been helping, man.
Yeah, I got them at work too. They definitely help.
Love it,
Definitely,
love it,
man.
love it.
So Zay, man, I appreciate you being on. So we live on the podcast right now. So
we live.
yeah, we live on YouTube, and I'm gonna use this for the podcast. So, man, I appreciate you being on. For those of you who aren't familiar, Zay is a friend of the podcast, man. So we had him on before. We had him on. Actually, we had enough for 2 episodes. So
Yeah.
So this will be episode number 3. And we're going to be really picking his brain because since then he's been killing it in the options trading game, man. So I know it's a robust topic, Zay. So we're going to, just whatever you could give us. And then we definitely want people to tap in to your courses and the community that you're building, for those who want to go further. So before I do that, Zay, I have something that I want to do because this is our 200,000. We've reached 200,000 downloads, right?
Yeah.
So we're excited.
A story about that. I wanted to tell you congratulations. I was gonna say this is a special episode for you guys. 200,000 downloads, man. Congratulations, man. That's when I watched you do your story on that, I can remember before COVID, I used to take the train to work, and every morning for my 40-minute ride, y'all podcast, y'all. It's like riding in the car with y'all, right there with y'all.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, man, I love it. But congratulations, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. So we put out kind of a call to action to our listeners. Anyone who wanted to be entered to win $50 gift card to Amazon, we wanted to just give out that to a little, as a little thank you to our listeners. And so the winner of that is, I really don't know how to say the name, IGTES, IGYTES. They were the winners of that giveaway. So all you have to do, if you're listening to this, simply email us at blackmarriedanddebtfree@gmail.com. And then we're going to go ahead and send you that gift card digitally. So we want to just send that as a little thank you to our listeners. And thank you for everyone who's been rocking with the podcast. Zay, thank you for always supporting the podcast, man. So we're excited to have you on today, man.
Awesome, man. Hey, look, always, man. Always. Y'all have one of the best podcasts out there, brother. So I'm always happy to support, man. So I love what y'all doing. You know what I'm saying? So just keep it going. Keep it 200,000. Now we got to get the 500,000.
Right. Absolutely. So Zay, let's kind of get right into this, man. First of all, how did you get into the options trading? I know you kind of touched on it on one of our other podcasts, but if you could go into that again, what kind of drove you to that investment strategy or investment vehicle? And then if you could give us a brief overview of what trading options really is.
Okay. So let's start with the latter.
Okay.
Right? Options, right? So what are options? What people need to know about options are that first of all, the option market is a derivative market, meaning that it is based on an underlying market. So with options, we're talking specifically about the stock market. So these options are, and I heard somebody on CNBC, I'm not even sure if it was CNBC, but somebody just described options as they're just mathematical equations based on the stock market, right? Now, what an option does is it gives you the right to either buy or sell a stock at a specific price by a specific date. Now, I know y'all are real big on real estate, so let's just kind of translate for the people. So the best way to look at options is like if you're a wholesaler, because you're going to go buy a contract on a house that you think is worth a certain price, right? So you have this contract and you can go flip it to somebody else, or in the options game, you can lose all your money or you can lose that deposit. If the house, if that house don't turn out to be worth, or if the value go down, you lose that deposit.
Right.
So Like that's like, that's like the easiest way to break it down, to like a, like a, what do you call it? Like, middle school type of level. So people can kind of really grasp, because options are a very complex financial instrument, especially when you get into some of the complex strategies and the way people use them to like control the market. So the easiest way to describe it is just be like, hey, look, it's really you just you're buying a contract that gives you the right to either buy or sell a given stock that you like. So that's basically what an option is, at a high level. As far as how I got into options, so I've always been a trader. So back in like 2017, I was trading cryptocurrency. I was also trading stocks, and I would consider myself a swing trader. So, I like to do trend analysis. I think of myself as an analytical person. I love just looking at trends. That was something that I loved in school. Right. So with stocks, it was like, the concept is simple: buy low, sell high. So let me just, look on the trend. What's the trend? When is it low? That's clearly a good buy point. And when, is a top point, you should sell. So I did that for a little while. I had a few friends that kept telling me like, yo, you need to get into options. You need to get into options. But I knew how complex they were. And I was like, yo, I don't want no parts of that. Like, I want to make my money easy and simple. The less complicated it can be, the better. And I was like, yo, people throwing out terms like a straddle, an iron condor, or a butterfly, and I was like, yo, what? I thought we was talking about the stock market. Right. So I was like, man, I'm good. I don't want no parts. You know what I mean? And but I have a couple of friends that invested. They just kept picking at me. It's like, yo, I'm telling you, you really need to look into it. So I would say around the crash, right? So around the crash, I was like, we was just in a chat room all talking about like, yo, what we gonna buy? Right. And my one friend was like, yo, I'm about to do some options. Like I'm about to make a lot of money. I'm like, man, all right, tell me about these options. Yeah. So, like, sit me down, make me really listen. And so he explained it to me. He was like, look, basically what happens is options provide a multiplier on your gains, because so there's, like I said, there's a mathematical equation. So there's a lot of factors that go in, like implied volatility, the Greeks, and I don't know if we dive into all that on the show, but that's like, you got to go study all that stuff.
Next
all
level
factors, right? They come together, and because of that, and it's a derivative market, you can basically multiply your money a lot faster. That's what I'm saying. So people have to do their research and kind of dig in deeper. We could not get that all in one podcast.
Got you.
But you know what I'm saying? And because of that, and the way how they work, you can grow your money faster. So he broke that down to me. So he showed me that strategy. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to take a practice trade.
Okay.
I'll never forget my first trade, bro. I think I did. It was on a casino in, it was Las Vegas Sands. And the first week I was up like 185%. I was like, there's no way.
Right.
No way. I was like, this can't even. But then the next week I was down like 30%. So I'm like, how did I go from 185% being up all the way down, being down 30%? And then the next week it like went back up, and I was like back up to like 100% again. So I was like, yo, this math is crazy. So I just took that first trade to really like understand the math, how those numbers was working out, end up profiting. But that's basically my journey into options, man. That's how I just dove in head first. I had somebody sit down. He just gave me like the basics of like, yo, this is what a call is, this is what a put is. And then I was like, all right, that's all I need. I'm just gonna put my money in, see how it work. If I lose, I'm willing to pay for this lesson. That's how I learn. I learn by doing.
Man, that's what's up, babe. And as you said that, C folks calls and puts. I don't know if you can see that on the stream.
Yeah, it just popped up. That's dope.
Yeah. And then we got
greetings, everyone. How you doing, lady and Moab?
Yes. Thank y'all for being on. I see you, cousin. I don't know if that's my cousin or your cousin, but it's somebody's family.
So let me. It's probably your cousin. It could be my cousin. We all cousins, right? But just to do a plug, right? So there's a movement now, and I know you're probably familiar with it. If you be rocking with Earn Your Leisure and all of it. So the GOAT, Mark Monroe, and the whole Come Up series, they got everybody that's like within that movement, empowerment movement, it's like they call the come up cousins. And so you'll see a lot of everybody like, yo, what's up, cousins? So shout out to all the cousins.
Right.
I gotta show them love, man. Yeah, it's a whole movement. Financial Wakanda is coming.
I like that. So Zay, can you tell me and our listeners, what do you think is a good prerequisite for getting into options? Like, as far as having a certain knowledge base or having a certain temperament, what do you think? Where do you think a person should be before they, can really be successful in this?
So it starts, and this goes for any type of investing. It always starts with fundamentals. Okay. So I think the first place, if you're going to get into options, you got to be strong with fundamentals. You need to know how to evaluate a business or a company fundamentally and be able to determine the value of that business, because that's going to help you tremendously when it comes to options. And you can actually use that to your benefit.
Right.
Because and I'm pretty sure we'll probably get into it during the show. But there's some strategies to where, if you basically get the right company because of the fundamental investing or research that you do with an option contract, we're talking 5x, 10x gains.
Wow. So
that's huge. That's 500 to 1,000% on your money. And, investors know, like, what? Yeah. So I would say the first place to start is definitely fundamentals. Make sure that you're not trading, any like no Hertz, no nickel, no nothing like, you know what I'm saying? You need to be trading fundamentally sound businesses.
Right.
And another place I would say you can start as far as learning options, man. Okay, there's a book by the Nigerian brothers. I can't think of the name of it. Somebody, if one of the cousins, drop the name of the book in the chat, but they have a good book that talks about trading options.
Gotcha.
And just kind of go from there. Just study. There's a bunch of YouTube content out there, and you really have to. I would say you also need to determine what is your trading style. So, like we talked about earlier, you got professional option traders who do like all the complex trades and stuff like that. But then you have some people who just keep it simple and do long-term contracts, and just that's how they ride out. Gotcha. So I would start with those two. Understand what kind of trader you want to be. What's your strategy? What's your goal? And then from there, like we talked about, fundamentals next.
Gotcha. So for those of you who don't know, Zay has an amazing YouTube channel that he breaks down a lot of this stuff and a lot of just wealth building and financial literacy in general. And there's a particular video that you did that, man, I got a lot from it when you were talking about a particular strategy of rolling fours.
Yeah.
If you can break that down to us, maybe share a little bit about that.
Let me make sure I put this out there before we even get it. So the rolling fours is not my strategy. Got to shout out to the GOAT, Mark Monroe. So he is basically enlightening, the community and the culture to a strategy called the rolling fours.
Okay.
And the way it comes off is crazy. So a lot of people are like, hold up. You know what I mean? Like in my video, if you go through the numbers, I'm like, yo, people are like, you're gonna be a little skeptical at first. What was people talking about? So the rolling fours, what it is essentially you do your research, you find a strong fundamental company, and then you're going to buy a long-term contract on it. Now, there's more that goes into determining the strike price and all of that stuff, but essentially the rolling four strategy is that you buy a contract on a great business that's typically a year, 2 years out, and you're just basically going to hold that as if you're like buying a stock. Now, there's more that go into it. So the next phase of it is that the rolling part, right? Now, with option contracts, you are allowed to close it out, and then you can buy more that have a longer expiration date. So that's what like the rolling part comes in, because essentially what you're doing is, and I'll give you an example and maybe that'll help. So just past September, I bought a contract on XLK that doesn't expire until 2023. Now, I'm not going to keep it until 2023. I'll probably look to roll it, which means like take some profits off the table and buy more contracts that have a longer expiration date, TBD, because we don't know what contracts will be available then. And you just rinse and repeat that process. Now, the four part, right? The four part is you do this every quarter. So every September, December, March, and June, there's an event called quadruple witching. And quadruple witching is where stock market futures, indexes, and stock option contracts, they all expire simultaneously on the third Friday of every quarter. And so during this quadruple witching, new contracts are made available as well. And so the strategy says, okay, when this event happens, what you're going to do is you're going to go in those stocks or ETFs that you like. You're going to go and buy a contract, with the extra work that you do, the research that you do, for as long as possible. So you're essentially buying time. And you just rinse and repeat. And then the snowball, if anybody's seen the video, you see, if you do, and if you haven't seen the video, go check it out. Because at the end, I show you, if you do $1,000 per quarter for 6 quarters, in 5 years, the math came out to like $750K.
Whew. That's the bag right there.
That's the bag, baby. That's the bag.
So Zay, is it safe to say that, well, this strategy sounds amazing, and I'm guessing that when you're rolling it over, you're saved. There's some tax advantages there. Because you're not cashing it out. Is there some benefits to that?
So, all right. So here's one of the things about, and for all the cousins that's watching this or may listen to this, the reason why we are taught to hold for a year and a day is because that does help with tax implications, in that if you hold for a year and a day, it would now be considered long-term capital gains. So when you go to roll, you wouldn't be taxed short-term. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you read now, of course, you're going to reinvest some of the money. And that's, that's the beautiful thing. But, I believe, and I might have to go double check, but once you go to roll, as long as you don't, well, I guess you would cash out the profits, but at the end of the year, they're going to give you those tax documents.
Right.
And any profit that's long-term, you probably will have to pay taxes on that at the end of the year, even though you reinvest it. Now, I will say you probably got to double check me on that, because I don't know if you reinvest, would you have to pay the taxes?
Gotcha.
That's why I'll get a tax lawyer. I'm actually looking for one. I'm looking for one. So if anybody watching this, or a tax lawyer, hit me up.
Right. Definitely, sit down with the CPA.
Tax implications. And so if you do sell before 1 year and a day, you definitely got to pay short term on that.
Gotcha.
On those things. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Especially if you report a profit at the end of the year.
Okay. So now, I heard you say a couple things. So can you speak to, you said it a few times, evaluating a business? Can you speak to that a little more, and why that's so important? Because I think maybe a lot of people will see something cheap. You talked about Hertz, and oh man, this is mad low. Okay, this is just cheap. Don't necessarily mean good, right? So can you break that down to our listeners?
Yeah. So evaluating a business, right? So what you want to do when you're evaluating a business is really dig into the metrics of the company. So you want to know, what's the profitability look like? How's the management team? How well are they managing the business? Look at earnings. So how, if you want to review 2 years worth, so that would be 8 quarters worth of earnings. Are they consistently beating earnings? Are they missing earnings? If they miss earnings, why did they miss earnings? Also, if you want to dig into their balance sheet, look at their income statement and cash flow. Are they is the business bringing in cash flow? What does their cash flow look like at the end of the year or the end of the quarter? Right. When you're evaluating the balance sheet, do they have more assets than they do liabilities on the balance sheet? Just like us people.
Yep.
we got more assets? Do we have more liabilities? You know, are you gonna lend your money out to somebody you know who got more debt or more assets?
Right, right.
So you gotta, you know, when you evaluating a business, you know, one of the best tips or advice I ever got was look at it like a person. You know, especially when you're evaluating a balance sheet. You know, do they have more assets? Do they have more liabilities? How are they managing their money?
Right.
And so that's just some of the things you want to do when you're evaluating a business, you know, and then we can get into like the technical charting stuff later. But
Yeah.
then you add that in, and you know,
Right.
then you got all the information
All
you
the
need.
tools.
That's just about execution. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So now, Zay, without getting too much into the services you offer, can you share some of the platforms that? Because my whole thing is, what platform do I use to be an option trader? Like where do I purchase an option? You know what I mean?
Oh,
If you could break that down.
yeah. So, all right. So I'm glad, man. And I feel like your platform is going to be one of the perfect platforms to talk to the people about this because, and maybe you'll even have a take on it as well. So let's just, before we get into the platforms, let's talk about Robinhood because this is one of the platforms that you could trade options on. And Robinhood has been getting drugged through the mud lately.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they've been getting drugged through the mud right now. What I want to say about Robinhood is that while they are getting drugged through the mud, and there are better apps out there, and we'll get into them in a second, I want to say that Robinhood got people into the game. And that's what it's really about. So if there's anybody out there still using Robinhood, like, yeah, Robinhood getting drugged through the mud, but it's not the worst.
Right.
Like it has a very nice user interface, so it makes it really easy for people to get in the game and understand what they're doing. And what Robinhood is being, I guess, targeted for or accused of. I mean, it's not right, but for the people who are probably using it, you're not going to see that much of a big difference in your bottom line. Now, once you get over a certain amount of money, then yes, you need to probably leave that platform and do like a real brokerage or just get a different platform. So that's just what I wanted to say about Robinhood.
Gotcha.
As far as platforms, so yeah, you can do Robinhood. There's a new app out there that's super dope called Doe. It's Black owned. So definitely check that out. They also have a YouTube channel where they do live training every day at 1 p.m. EST. Wow. So it's not only is it a platform you can trade on, but they have live educational training. Wow. The tools on the app are amazing. So, and I'm like not sponsored or anything like, but hey, it's a good product, right?
Right.
So that's dope. And then you can do Webull for anybody that uses Webull. You can trade options on Webull. Then you have like your traditional platform. So that's going to be your E-Trade, TD Ameritrade, because TD has Thinkorswim and E-Trade are the two big ones. Now, your traditional brokerages also offer options trading. And for a lot of these platforms, you do have to sometimes apply. And you're going to have to answer a few questions, wink, wink. They're going to ask you about your net income, your experience, and all that. And if you don't line up, they're not going to approve you. So just know that's coming.
Right.
But yeah, those are all the platforms. So like, I'll keep it real. Yo, I applied to do options through my wife's IRA, my rollover IRA, and my current IRA.
Yeah.
As well as through my brokerage account. So that way I can set up rolling fours in every account.
Man, that's how you do it, man.
Yeah, man. Once I learned that, I said, oh, look, we're doing it in this account, this account, this account.
Right. So now, Zay, is there, if you could give your opinion on the volatility or the risk tolerance of this, do you think, is this a good option for someone who's just like, you know what, I don't like a lot of I'm sensitive when it comes to volatility. Would you recommend this for them, or would you say, you know what, you might want to just use a simpler strategy?
You're right. I probably wouldn't. I would just tell you to buy and hold, like just buy ETFs or buy the stock yourself and just hold. But here's the thing, right? So even if you are not really like risk adverse, the thing about options I would tell you is that with options, your risk is limited in that you know what you can lose, because when you buy an option, you can't lose you can't lose any more than what you paid for that option.
Facts.
So if your trade, if you pay $1,000 for your trade, the most you can lose is $1,000. That's it.
Yeah.
So so I would tell people when you options trade, you should definitely, do long-term options trading first, but just be okay. Invest money that if it goes to zero, you okay with it. That's basically, what I'm saying, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really it. Because your risk is defined.
Yeah.
And that the most you can lose is what you pay for a contract.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I think that could mitigate some of that stress. It's like you can't go under zero, right?
So, like if you go into the game and you like, you know what, I think this, I know I'm going into, I think this trade is going to go, because let's be honest, options are really for institutional investors and traders to either speculate or hedge. So when people use options, you either speculating that the price is going to go up, or speculating it might go down, or you own the stock and you think it's going to go up or down and you want to hedge your current position. That's like what the purpose of options are really for.
Gotcha.
So I you just got to look at it like that.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So Zay, this is the part I'm excited about, man. Can you tell our people what you're doing, how you're educating individuals who are thinking about it, who are even, doing it already? What are you bringing to the table to educate the people?
Great question, man. So I got a lot going on. So I'm gonna do it in like this order, because this is how I like to tell people. So first, I have my YouTube channel. You can definitely go on my YouTube platform. I have a lot. I do it, like you said, I do a lot of videos going in depth, breaking down some of the concepts. And I have a bunch of content in the backlog. I got a bunch of questions. So I'm gonna have a bunch of more videos coming. So from that, you'll be able to learn a lot and kind of implement right now. So let's say that's not enough, because I always want people to go, let's go the free route.
Right.
It's so much information out here that you really don't need to pay. But there are some people who need, more individual attention, a little bit more hand holding. And I understand that. So that's where my courses come into play. And so I've done, I actually just re-recorded it and put out some new content, but I have the ultimate guide for options trading. So that's basically for new investors who are new to options that just want to, get that foundational understanding of what they are, how they work. I even teach my personal strategy of how I do trend analysis, use the chart. So like it's jam packed. I want to say it's like over 2 hours worth of content.
Man.
It's got all our coaching calls that we do bi-monthly are in it included as well. So that's like another 4 or 5 hours of content. Bunch of resources. We have a private chat room, so 24 access to ask questions to me. And then on top of that, so that's the options course. And I have a fundamental investing course, which is all about long-term investing, helping you build your long-term portfolio. So your retirement money, really focusing on the buy and hold strategies, how to, like we just talked about, how to evaluate a balance sheet, what you should look for, all of that stuff. And then my latest course that's actually dropping on Sunday, that's going to complete the little triangle offense, is teaching people how to read charts. So a lot of people struggle with reading stock charts. Like that's one of the biggest things that for our culture, when we get into investing, we struggle with the charts. And I've been studying charts for a long time, and I've found some tools and tricks that just like, if you do this, it makes it so much simple. And so I'm just basically showing people like, look, there's a lot of fancy language out there and there's a lot of fancy tools, but I found some ways that make it super easy and simple, and you can skip all that and you're going to get the same exact prices to the cents of all these technical traders, and you're going to have to do half, less half the work. So, I'm really big on work smarter, not harder. And so I was like, I'm about to find a cheat code.
Yeah.
So basically I'm just giving people the cheat code. Like, look, this is how you do it.
Yeah. That's amazing, man. I follow everything you're doing, and it seems very robust.
It,
absolutely, man.
Likewise, man. Likewise.
Man,
y'all definitely inspire me.
Man, thank you. So Zay, can you tell everyone how they can access that, where they can find this at, and definitely grab these courses that you got going for us?
Yeah, so it's funny you say that y'all celebrating y'all 200,000 download, because I'm running a special right now on all my courses if you use the code 1K Club. So I just hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So that was, so I'm running a special if you use the code 1K. Now, where can you find it? If you go to Instagram and you click on my bio, there's a link that will take you to all of them. It is on the Gumroad platform. So if you go on Gumroad and just search First Generation Wealth Building, I think my whole profile will come up. Cool. And you can find it that way as well. And yeah, that's how you can find it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So Zay, man, I mean, let's see if we got any more questions.
Yeah, we got some questions, man. I'm trying to think, did I have anything? I think the one other thing that I really want to, tell the people, tell your audience is that for those who are new and want to get into options, you will see a lot of people making fast money. And it can get addicting. And there is opportunity where you can make quick money. I just want to say that sometimes quick money is a net. What is it? What do you call it? Sum zero game. Ooh. So you might get some big wins, but you might get some big losses too. And if anybody is new, I highly encourage you to seek education first. I think we talked about a bunch of platforms on here. I mean, there's so many people doing great things for the culture. I mean, you got Come Up Series, you got Earning Leisure, Ian of Master Investor, Trap. It's so many people that if you just listen to those people and put it together, man, you can put it together a portfolio better than more than probably 75% of Wall Street. Right. Real talk.
And the beautiful part about it is these are brothers that come from where we come from. Like they cut like we're cut, So right. I highly encourage you to look into these individuals that Zay's talking about, man, because I think a lot of times when it's people, somebody that look like us saying something, we always find reasons why. I don't know. I think we get real skeptical, which I never really understand. You know what I mean?
I think what it is we like results. Yeah. So you gotta prove it to us first.
Yep.
We need it. Let me see your numbers.
Right.
if I'm about to listen to you, I need to see your numbers, Yeah. And I think that's why platforms like yours, mine, other people we mentioned that provide transparency, provide truth, and that's just giving it, 100% and can be trusted as more and more come, I said the movement's going to get bigger. And it's dope, man. Cause it's like I mentioned earlier, man, I see it. A financial Wakanda is being built. All these content creators out here that's, collaborating and spreading this word. And we all on the same page. It's just, trying to build generational wealth and just help the culture. It's spreading and it's definitely becoming very infectious. And I love it. I love it.
Absolutely, man. Like we say, it's like a renaissance of financial education in the Black and brown community, man. And it's beautiful to see, like you said, people collaborating. There's no animosity, all that stuff, man. We just trying to get to the bag, man. That's just it, So
right.
We definitely appreciate you being on with us, Zay, man. Keep doing everything you're doing, man. Like I said, I don't like to use the word fan, but I'm pretty much a huge fan.
Hey, look, it's likewise, man. Likewise, brother. And you know what? I'm really disappointed we didn't get to connect at the FinCon, man.
I know.
Everything just went downhill.
Yeah.
And all that. But 2021, listen, 2021 is about to be crazy. It's gonna be a great year. 2021 is gonna be a comeback year. Like the community culture, we're gonna be doing well.
Yep.
You're gonna let us up back outside. Everybody gonna be, got their paper right. Oh man.
It's gonna be lovely, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful sight, baby.
Right. Well, all right, Zay, man. I don't want to hold you too long, man. I know you got your beautiful wife, man, and the baby girl on the way. So I'm gonna let you get to it, man. So
but look, as always, Marcus, man, look, I appreciate you for having me on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love everything y'all doing. I want to say to all the listeners, man, y'all got a great podcast here. I can't wait for this episode to drop. But again, I appreciate you for having me on, bro. Real talk.
Absolutely.
On as well, man.
All right, man. Appreciate it, Zay. So I'm holler at you later. And Shira says hi. She's on a Zoom call, the whole work thing.
So I said, hey. She heard me.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Well, be blessed, man. I'll holler at you later.
Hey, my man.
All right. Peace.